EA Sports and Blue Ocean Strategy. In 1982, Trip Hawkins founded Electronic Arts, also known as EA. EA had a successful run for many years under Hawkins' leadership. In 1991, Hawkins transitioned from EA to another successful video console company.
For years, EA Sports has dominated the video game industry, giving its competition the stiff arm by not only producing high-quality titles, but also by locking up exclusive contracts to keep its rivals from even making it onto the field. But just how did EA Sports make it to number one?
EA's exclusive licensing agreements have essentially cut out any potential competition by making the content only available to themselves.
In the early 1980s, Trip Hawkins left his position as Director of Strategy and Marketing at Apple to find success with his new computer game company, Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts' business philosophy puts special emphasis on the designers of its products, the electronic artists themselves. Consumers responded by handing the company dollars by the fistful for each new game it released. In 1983, programmer Eric Hammond worked with Hawkins and EA to release the company's first sports game, Julius Erving and Larry Bird One-on-One. Released for the Apple II and later ported to the Commodore 64 and other platforms, One-on-One broke ground as the first video game to be endorsed by sports celebrities and to feature their licensed likeness. For such a simple-looking game, One-on-One offered a surprising amount of detail. Gamers had a full range of offensive and defensive moves at their disposal, including dunks, spins, steals, and blocks. The player's fatigue bar needed replenishing as each match went on. If Dr. J or Bird didn't call the occasional timeout or stop to dribble for a moment, their on-screen avatars would start to move sluggishly and miss shots and blocks. The characters could even shatter the backboard if they dunked too many times. To the delight of players, broken backboards prompted an angry janitor onto the court to mutter curses while he cleaned up the mess. One-on-One was a success, earning great reviews and sales, just as the video game industry imploded in 1983. Electronic Arts' first step into the world of sports was an early sign of the great things still yet to come.
In 1991, EA begins manufacturing Sega games in-house despite legal threats. EA also begins manufacturing Nintendo cartridges in-house. It begins buying up small developers such as Distinctive Software companies, later to become NBA Live. This year also is when Trip Hawkins leaves EA and is replaced by Larry Probst. In 1991, after Trip Hawkins leaves EA and hands the reins over to Larry Probst, Probst pushes EA in a new direction, utilizing celebrity athletes and their own in-house multi-platform cartridge production to realign their business strategy. EA is the first company to repackage and resell an updated sports game year after year for the full price. Probst hands the reins over to John Ricciello, who is the CEO of EA Sports from 2007 to 2013. On September 17, 2013, Andrew Wilson takes over as CEO of EA and picks up where Probst and Ricciello left off. Success.
EA has a new CEO, Andrew Wilson, the executive vice president in charge of EA Sports. A company spokesperson confirmed Wilson's new appointment to All Things D. EA's former CEO, John Riccitiello, stepped down in March of this year, replaced in the interim by Larry Probst. Probst wrote in a blog, quote, Andrew's appointment is a clear demonstration of the deep bench of management talent at EA and reflects our fundamental belief that EA is on track to become the global leader in interactive games and services.
In 2004 and 2005, EA loses market share to Sega's ESPN NFL 2K5. EA responds by signing exclusive licensing agreements with ESPN, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and CLC. These contracts, ranging from 6 to 15 years in length, gave EA the exclusive right to the players, teams, and through ESPN, the announcers, and playback reels. Tapping into the big-name sports and utilizing real athletes as playable characters added a new demographic to the video game players. These are people who follow or play sports. Now you can also make your own player under your own name in FIFA, NBA Live, Madden, NHL, and NBL games. You can also play as one individual player with these created players and real-life stars instead of controlling the whole team. EA uses real-life professional athletes to place players in the game. This simultaneously increases market share while providing a unique experience. EA sidesteps the value-cost trade-off by latching itself onto a self-sustaining franchise. They produce their games in-house across all available platforms and reduce variable costs significantly by re-releasing similar content each year, for which they pay a known licensing fee. EA's strategy is to re-release an updated version of the same title across all platforms each year. This strategy keeps costs low by reducing research and development and keeping production costs in-house.
This EA Sports that's in the game has been going on for years, for decades. How did you end up with this cool gig?
Do you know what? It was early 90s. I think it was like 92, 93 maybe. And I had a friend in the advertising business who was working down here, and he was approached by the Electronic Arts people who had probably 7 employees at the time, and they said, could you come up with a TV commercial for us? And I think his initial response was, no. I don't know who you are. And then when they convinced him, he came up with this whole line. Originally was, if it's in the game, EA Sports, it's in the game. And he called me up in Toronto, his old buddy, and said, hey, will you do the voice for this thing for free? And I said, yeah, of course I will. I don't even know what this is, but I got a free trip down to see you, so for sure. And I recorded it, and I thought I will never, ever hear anything about that again. And 23 years later, it has become this mega brand. I think they told me at one time that it was the 11th most recognized brand in America or something. So pretty cool.
When it comes to Madden, they're celebrating 25 years here at this Museum of Moving Images. What do you think it is about this game that has stood the test of time?
You know what, Madden is an interesting thing to me because it's a game that is all about authenticity and its ability to every year find a way to become more and more authentic to a game experience is what makes it so popular with people. You know, the first year that they were able to actually bitmap players' faces on the players, you know, more authentic. The way they're now able to like have individual blades of grass, you know, and you see the sweat on RG3's arm when he's throwing a bomb. I mean, it is so authentic, and there is something about the sports game as opposed to the more fantasy role-playing games, first-person shooter games, that we grow up with them. We start playing them from a very early age. There's very defined rules. There's a winner, there's a loser. It's very social. I think all of that has made Madden this gestalt of sporting awesomeness. You can use that gestalt of sporting awesomeness.
When did you realize, having been involved with this from the early days, of when Madden became more than a game and became part of pop culture?
Do you know what? It was in the early days. I think that it was more a curiosity. I think that sports video games were when they were in their infancy, obviously the processing power just wasn't there. The application to the game, the graphics just weren't there. So it was like we all just thought, I guess this is better than Pong and Space Invaders, right? It's real people and everything. But God, when you watch that old stuff, you're like, how could anyone have played this, right? But then there were certain signposts, like thresholds that they hit every year with the game, where it became more and more like the real experience, and people had this feeling like, wait a minute, I'm actually in an NFL game, you know, like I'm actually calling plays. This might be what it's like to be in Michael Vick's head, when it just took off, like, and it became part of the culture. And I think that John was a very, very big part of that. Instant credibility. They made such a smart move, knowing back in 1994, oh, you know what you do? You get John Madden, and the rest is history.
Sports team rosters and records are updated every year, and to stay current, the game must update these as well. Some games like FIFA, for example, started updating their rosters almost every day starting in 2012. They also add features and improve technology so a new game can be released each year. By tapping into this self-sustaining cycle, EA can justify these re-releases at full price.
Because you look so fine and I really want to make you mine. I said you look so fine and I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey? Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her. Get up back stare. Well, I can see you. Said, are you gonna be my girl? Well, it's a 1, 2, 3. Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine and I really wanna make you mine. I said you look so fine and I really wanna make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money with a face like that, do you? Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her. Get back stare. Well, I can see you home with me, but you were with another man. Yeah, I know we ain't got much to say before I let you get away. I said, are you gonna be my girl?
EA Sports. It's in the game.